What if Deku had the commandments? Part 4. Sorry if the music's too loud and I'm planning to add it over and I'm still experimenting with that. Now, where I left off is Zuko and his friends just finished the cavalry battle in the sports festival. This leaves the final event, the tournament or 1v1 battles. Now, Izuku is called up to face Shinso in the first round as the first battle. Once Izuku walks up there, or before that, Ojiro stops him and tells him that he is some kind of brainwashing quirk and to watch out. Izuku's like, okay, as he continues to walk out onto the field as Shinso gets up there. As soon as Midnight says go, Shinso immediately starts talking trash. Now Izuku's like, oh, so he must be trying to get me to answer him. So Izuku throws a random question at Shinso, saying, if I answer you, will you not brainwash me? Or if I answer you, do not brainwash me. Shinso just says, okay. And Shinso's like, don't you love it how we're always powerful? Man, isn't it easy having so much power? Suzuki's like, when will you learn? Anybody can have this kind of power if they train. That's when Izuku stops as he feels something go through his mind and then immediately disappear as he looks over at Shinso to see that he's rapidly turning into stone. Suzuki just smirks at him. Shinso's like, what? What? How? How am I turning into stone? Suzuki's just like, my power. The commandment of truth. If I am around when you speak lies or go back on your word, you'll be petrified into stone. As he hears this, Shinso's like, what? No. As he turns completely into stone, Suzuki picks him up and says, looks like I won. As he starts walking out with Midnight saying, Izuku Midoriya wins the first round! As he goes and unpetrifies Shinso, as he tells him, anybody could get this strong with their own quirk. You just have to train hard enough. I can't believe someone like you didn't train when they obviously have a useful quirk. It's sad how you envied others instead of actually doing something. Suzuki said this, he walks off. Shinso's like, what? Maybe I should do something. Shinso's thinking this, as Awa is around the corner, is like, kid has a useful quirk and looks like me. Guess I'll teach him how to use my rope thing, or my scarf. Now, everything goes the same until Izuku's match with Todoroki. Midnight announces the fight as they both walk up there. As Todoroki says, Midoriya, objectively I'd say I'm stronger than you. Izuku just smirks at him and he's like, yeah, sure. Keep talking. As soon as Midnight yells go, Todoroki sends a massive ice wave, just like he did with Suro. Only this time, Izuku easily dodges it and then destroys it with his black demonic energy, flames, whatever you want to call it. Now, Todoroki's kind of surprised by this as the flames or energy just instantly just destroys this. As he's like, what? No way. How? As he says this, Izuku comes in with a demonic claw around his left hand as he swipes from the left side of Todoroki, the opposite side of his scar, down to the right side of him, just creating a huge cut as Todoroki screams in agony, like, what? How? As he falls down to his knees, Suzuki grabs him by the hair and says, do you give up? Or should I finish you? Todoroki tries to send ice at him, only for it to get blocked away by a wall of demonic energy. Suzuki's like, very well then, guess you chose the hard way. Suzuki kicks Todoroki up in the air and smashes him out of bounds as he's knocked out, as everyone's kind of horrified at how gruesome Izuku was. Suzuki just picks him up, starts carrying over to Recovery Girl. Once he gets there, Recovery Girl hits him on top of the head with her cane. She's like, why'd you go so hard on young Todoroki? Suzuki's just like, well, I was trying to get him to use his flames. Guess he's more resilient than I thought he would be. Suzuki's just like, yeah. I wish I could have got him to use his flames. As Recovery Girl just looks at him, he's like, you're gonna give me a heart attack, you know that. As Suzuki's walking back, he hears that it's now his time for a match with Ida. He goes down there. As Midnight yells, go, Ida instantly uses reciprocal burst, sending him flying towards Izuku, only to get a punch to the gut, sending him barreling straight towards the out-of-bounds wall. Ida tries to stop himself, but failing miserably as he crashes into the wall and gets knocked unconscious. Izuku winning once again, making his record 5-0. The first time being the race, the second time cavalry battle. And now the first and then the next three are all the 1v1s. That leaves Bakugo versus Izuku. Izuku tries to say good fight to Bakugo, but Bakugo just growls at him. He's like, you ready to see who's boss, Deku? Suzuki just looks at him and he's like, yup, sure. When will you learn, Bakugo? As Bakugo charges right at Izuku, not even waiting for Midnight to yell, go, she's like, oh, I really wanted to say go that time. As Bakugo just starts throwing explosions at him and Suzuki's like, come on, Bakugo, can't you just wait a little bit? She didn't even say go yet. Bakugo just like, I don't care. I'll beat you. This one time, Deku. I won't let you beat me so easily like the last. As he continues his crusade of Izuku's territory, or whatever you want to call his side of the arena. Constant explosions stopping Izuku from actually trying to focus on an attack as he's constantly trying to focus on dodging. Izuku's just like, do you hate me, Bakugo? Do you really hate me? As Bakugo's like, of course I do, you stupid Deku. All of a sudden, Bakugo just stops as his eyes widen and he's like, no. Stupid commandment of love. Can't believe that stupid thing actually works. Suzuki just walks to him smiling and he's like, Bakugo, you know anybody who holds hatred in their hearts can't hurt a single soul unless I say that can move once again. So he just looks at Bakugo. It's like, I think I'll just pick you up and leave you here. Suzuki picks Bakugo up and sets him out of balance as Midnight announces that Izuku Midoriya has won the UA Sports Festival. All of a sudden, Izuku gets a bright idea. He rushes towards the girls' locker room with a paralyzed Bakugo. He kicks open the door. Luckily, nobody's in there. They're all in the stands as he chucks Bakugo in there. Bakugo's just paralyzed as Izuku's just smiling as he walks out. Now, once he walks up onto the podium, he sees that Todoroki is there in third place never mind. He sees that Tokiyami is there in third place as he steps up to first as Midnight announces, but where is Bakugo? All of a sudden, a crowd of 1B and 1A girls comes out holding him, a paralyzed Bakugo, as they just put him up on the podium and just start kicking him. As Izuki's like, wait, didn't I paralyze him so he couldn't have gotten them there by himself? As he said that, they all realized, no, you didn't. They just realized that Izuku did that as a sort of a prank. As they walk off, as Midnight announces that Izuku is in first place, Bakugo in second, and Tokiyami in third. Now, Bakugo doesn't need restraints this time as he's just basically paralyzed in that one spot. So after this, Class 1A walks into the classroom to find out that they are going to internships. This basically just makes them all happy and like, yeah, I can't wait to work with a pro hero. Now, Aizawa also tells them that they need to choose between the list that have actually want them to work with them. Suku looks over his list and sees that he got none. He's confused by this as he's like, wait, Aizawa-sensei, where is all the people that want me? Aizawa just sighs and looks at him. Well, people are scared of your demonic power, so we're just gonna let you be a temporary hero for the week, since we already know you're pretty much the strongest here. So he says that everyone just looks at Izuku like, lucky, you get to be a hero before us. Izuku's like, well, it is only temporary, right? So Aizawa was just like, yeah, it is. Izuku's kind of disappointed by that answer, but he understands. As Izuku walks home, remember, Izuku's hero costume is a mix between Meliodas' and Zeldris', I'd say. Now, once he walks home, he looks down at his temporary hero license and he's like, well, I guess I'll just go to Hosu and live in a cardboard box for a week. It wouldn't matter that much. I don't want to travel an hour each day there and back to my house. So I'll just tell my mom goodbye and go live in a box for a week. Suku says goodbye to his mom, and begins his week of hell of living in a cardboard box. Can already imagine how painful that must be. I mean, probably really is painful. Now, on the first day of the training camp, internship, Izuku's not really an internship. He just continues to look for random people. Now, once I'd say around the second day mark, Izuku looking through alleys to see Ida trapped with the hero killer standing above him. Now, Izuku looks at him as the hero killer is like, wait, what are you doing here? I'm not supposed to be in this part of the city right now. Izuku gets confused and he's like, what do you mean? As Stain just looks at him and he's like, aren't you Izumi the hero? Aren't you Izumi? As Izuku's like, Izumi? No, I'm Izuku. Stain just like, oh, her brother. He mumbles under his breath and Izuku's like, what? What do you mean, her brother? Izuku charges right at Stain and sends his black energy at Stain. But Stain dodges it as Stain tries to cut Izuku. Izuku continually dodging them back and forth, just continue to dodge until Izuku makes a claw in his right hand and stabs Stain with it through the chest, but not really, just enough to knock him out from blood loss. Izuku patches it up and calls the police. The police try and make him come too, since he used his quirk without permission, but Izuku just gives them his temporary pro hero license. Now, after this, Izuku's just wondering, like, what did he mean, sister? What did he mean, her brother? Izuku goes back for the first time in 3 days, or around that, to his mom's house. He asks her, did I have a sister? She looks down crying before saying, she was kidnapped when she was only 1. I got rid of all her pictures up into the attic so I wouldn't have to remember her. Suzuki just widens his eyes and he's like, what? I had a sister? Izuku continues his patrol until he meets somebody that looks just like him, but as a girl. He's like, Izumi, is that you? Izumi just looks over and she's like, who are you? Suzuki, I'm Izuku, your brother. He's like, as she just looks at him, it's like, so, you finally decided to come for me. Thought it'd take forever. I didn't even think you'd come to get me after so long. Izuku just looks at her and he's like, what are you talking about? He's just like, you never came with me. You never came looking for me. Izuku just looks at her and he's like, I wasn't even old enough to know how to talk yet when you were kidnapped. Izumi just looks at him. He's like, that's no excuse for her. Mom didn't even start looking for me. Izuku just looks at her and he's like, Mom was crying when I asked her about it. They keep going back and forth until Izuku's like, why did you become a villain? As Izumi's just like, well, I obviously couldn't become a hero. Izuku just looks at her and he's like, no, you still can. There's still a chance you can become a hero. Izuku puts his arm out and he's like, please become a hero. Izumi just looks at it and he's like, I'm already too far lost. As she charges in at Izuku, Suzuki's like, no, can't kill her. Even though I've only known her for a little time. She's my sister, my own flesh and blood. Izumi continues her onslaught of punches and kicks as Izuku just looks down, pitying her. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. As she punches him in the stomach, he's like, what? No. Why did you have to do this? As he falls to his knees crying, he's like, it's not too late, Izumi. Please. Izumi just looks at him, kicks him one more as he's like, fine then. Guess I'll have to kill you. Suzuki charges in at her and sends his demonic energy at her. And she's like, what? I didn't know you could do that. And she's like, you have 5 commandments, right? Well, so do I. And Suzuki's like, well, why haven't you been using them? As Izumi just looks at her and is like, I was trained not to be dependent on them. But it seems that you've been trained above what I have. What did they train you? It's obviously better than what I have gotten. Zuku just looks at her and he's like, join me, Izumi, please. Izumi just looks at him and it's like, your attempts have failed. You do not need to be with such filth. She charges at him, but Izuku just looks at her as he puts black flames around and attacks her. As he's doing this, Izumi suddenly gets a huge burst of flames. Izuku just like, what? How? What'd you do? Izumi just like, I finally unlocked the demonic energy that you have. Now it's time to die, big brother. She charges right at Zuku. He's like, what? This power, it's so much greater than mine. She continually gets beaten, kicks, punches, headbutts. He just keeps getting knocked back as Zuku's like, I can't be done yet. As one final slam into the ground and he's knocked out, Izumi just looks down pitying her brother and he's like, oh, I really envy you, brother. Always having a perfect life, one I couldn't go back to. No more, because your life ends now. Just when she's about to do that, a, a black pillar from Izuku appears. Now, before all this, Izuku was in his mind. He looks around. He sees a demon. Izuku is like, well, who are you? The demon tries to take over Izuku's body, but Izuku just tries to overpower it and ends up succeeding. As the demon's like, I'll overpower you and take control of your body next time. You're lucky today. As it gets, as it slowly disappears, Izuku awakens his form, which is Asta's demonic form. It has a demon wing and a horn. As Izuku pulls a sword out of his chest. I know I'm going with this kind of weird, but he pulls a sword right out of his chest as he goes up and slams the sword right into Izumi, which makes all of her demonic energy disappear. Suzuki's just like, this sword gets rid of quirks and magic use. So I suggest you be gone. As he slices straight through her neck, beheading her. So that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Sort of on a really dark note there. So I hope you guys did enjoy What If Deku Had a Commandment Part 4. See ya, guys. Bye.